In the matter of State of Minnesota versus Kimberly Potter, court file number 27CR 217490, we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the first degree while committing a misdemeanor on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And the verdict was agreed to at the hour of 11:40 a.m. and signed by the jury person on 12/23/21. The verdict on count 2 is we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the second degree, culpable negligence on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And that verdict was agreed to at 10:30 a.m. on 12/21/21. Members of the jury, is this your true and correct verdict? So say you one, and so say you all.
Yes.
Okay, you may be seated. All right, I am now going to poll the jury. Juror number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
It is.
Juror number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror number 7, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror number 13, is this your true and correct verdict? Oh, it's juror 11. And juror 17, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 19, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 21, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 22, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 26, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 40, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 48, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
And juror number 55, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Members of the jury, when you first came into the courtroom, I told you that jurors are the heroes of our judicial system. Well, the 12 of you are our heroes in this case.
Many of you know by now, Kim Potter has been found guilty, dressing her like a granny and having her cry up on the witness stand. It just didn't work. And she sure couldn't use the usual, "I feared for my life." So again, just like Travis McMichael, she went up on the stand and her testimony really did not do much in order to save herself. You know, these cops really don't do so well up on the stand. They really don't. And we saw that with Amber Geiger as well. I think what adds insult to injury, it's bad enough you shot someone in the chest, just like Amber Geiger, and you offered no first aid, just like Amber Geiger. Okay, you offered no first aid. I guess they figure when the person don't look like them, they're not worth CPR. I don't know, but that's one consistent thing we are seeing when it comes down to these cops and them shooting someone, and they render no first aid whatsoever. She showed yeah, she screamed and got all down on the ground, but at the end of the day, she didn't lift a finger to help him. So, y'all, I got some audio that I want you to listen to from NPR, December 23rd, 2021.
We begin this hour in Minnesota, where a jury today convicted a white former police officer of manslaughter in the death of a 20-year-old black man. Kimberly Potter said she meant to use her taser instead of her handgun when she fatally shot Dante Wright as he tried to evade arrest during a traffic stop back in April. Joining us now with the latest is reporter Matt Sepik of Minnesota Public Radio. He has been following this trial. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Elsa.
So this jury, it deliberated for around 28 hours over 3 days, I understand. Can you just tell us about the charges that they were considering?
Yeah, Potter was charged with both first and second degree manslaughter. The key issues all throughout the trial were not who pulled the trigger, that was never in dispute, but rather negligence and recklessness, the main elements of the manslaughter counts. Potter took the stand in her own defense last week and, often sobbing, expressed remorse for shooting Dante Wright. The manslaughter charges were slightly different, but she was convicted of both of them. Here is Judge Regina Chu reading the verdicts earlier this afternoon.
We, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the first degree while committing a misdemeanor on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, state of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty.
And I should note also that prosecutors brought that first degree manslaughter charge more than 4 months after they filed the original criminal complaint, following outcry from some in the community that second degree manslaughter just wasn't serious enough. After Chu read the verdicts, she then ordered that Potter be taken into custody. Potter's attorneys asked for her to be released on bail, a request Chu immediately denied. A sheriff's deputy then handcuffed Potter and escorted her out of the courtroom.
So tell us, what's the reaction to the verdict been so far?
Now, Potter stood pretty much expressionless as Chu read the verdict. That was a clear contrast to the emotion she expressed last Friday when she was on the stand testifying in her own defense. A crowd of about 100 people who gathered in support of the Wright family expressed relief and began celebrating outside the courthouse when they learned the news. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison also gave a brief statement. The conviction comes 8 months after many of the same attorneys in his office secured the conviction of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd. Ellison said the jury held Potter accountable, but there can't truly be justice for the Wright family because they'll be spending their first Christmas without Dante.
Justice is beyond the reach that we have in this life for Dante. But accountability is an important step, a critical, necessary step on the road to justice for us all.
And Wright's mother, Katie Bryant, also spoke at that same news conference alongside Attorney General Ellison.
The moment that we heard guilty on the manslaughter one, emotions, every single emotion that you could imagine just running through your body at that moment. I kind of let out a yelp because it was built up in the anticipation of what was to come while we were waiting for the last few days.
Well, let me ask you, Matt. It appeared that much of what the jury had to consider was testimony about Kim Potter's training, as a 26-year veteran in the police force. Can you tell us why that testimony was especially significant here?
Well, prosecutors noted throughout the 8 days of testimony that Potter had extensive knowledge of police procedures and had a lot of experience training younger officers, something she was doing when she shot Dante Wright. And the government also highlighted the fact that the company that makes tasers specifically warns users not to confuse the device with a handgun because both of them are fired by pulling a trigger.
That is reporter Matt Sepik of Minnesota Public Radio. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I do agree. How the hell are you cop for 26 years and you can't figure out what's a taser and what's a handgun? And and I also found it very odd when she was on the stand doing her testimony. There was nothing that came out about her confusing the taser and gun. And I was like, isn't that kind of the point? But if you go back and look at the testimony, there was no questioning in regards to her confusing the handgun and her gun. I mean, her handgun and the taser. That never came out. No questioning on that. But, we'll see what her sentence is. And also the McMichaels. And Brian, their sentence will be coming up on January 7th. So we got more that's coming. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I think this was the right outcome. And no, I don't believe they should take it easy on her during the sentencing phase. Let her butt sit in there. If you want to keep somebody in there for decades, this is the one you do that to, not someone innocent that you want to pluck off the streets and withhold evidence that could clear them. Here's somebody that really did it. Keep her in there for 50 years. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.